Refreshing.
Sip.
Sippity sip sip. All right, man. Here we go. Hanging with Beatdrop podcast, episode 67. And shout out to my cousin Kevin. How you feeling?
Thank
Feeling
you very
good.
much.
You know what I'm
what's up,
saying?
Kev?
We got
Our
he's
cameraman.
like, oh, what's up, Kev?
What's up, Kev?
What up, Kev? I see you.
I see you, big head.
He's like, I got my boy Roger Rocha in the building, and it's your boy Beatdrop, and we got a special guest. This is my homie, man. We got DJ Oso motherfucking Mighty, bro. What's
Thanks,
good, bro?
y'all, man. Hey, what's up, man?
Chilling,
Thank
dog.
y'all for
Thank you
having
for
me.
being
Thank y'all for having me.
We posted, man,
Pleasure.
and y'all see the merch,
You see
I
the
know,
merch
man.
right there, baby.
and it's not the Cheetos.
It's
all
not,
right?
it's not.
Let me put
Yeah,
that away.
sorry.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But
There was Cheetos in the merch.
yeah,
That's what happened, man.
Yeah, you feel me?
I was like, I'm ready, bro. I'm ready. Whatever you guys want, I got it.
Dog. My boy came with the green tea. My boy was feeling
yeah.
good.
Yeah,
you know?
man. I just, I had to come prepared, man.
I see it. And then let's start from the jump, bro. We do that in every podcast. You know, we want everybody to know, the guest's story. So let's just start from, where you from, what city you from, what got you into DJing, and
All
just
right.
all that fucking good
Let
shit.
it
And then
all
after
out,
that,
baby.
we're just gonna glide
All right, man.
away,
We'll rip
baby.
my hood. Then,
Put on autopilot.
All right.
You
well,
feel me?
yeah. So I actually, I was born in Glendale.
Mm-hmm.
I lived in Glendale till I was about 15, 16, I think, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up there. Was just, doing my thing. Me and Armenians, you know what I'm saying?
I see you. I see
And
you.
yeah, that's pretty much where I fell in love with DJing.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Roosevelt Middle School. I went to Cerritos Elementary School. I went to I did my freshman year at Hoover High School.
Hoover. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
here in Burbank. And then after that, it was my parents were just like, man, we need to get out of here. So what happened pretty much is fell in love with DJing. I used to play for the Glendale Bears. I almost forgot.
Oh,
There
for
you
real?
go.
Okay.
So
Glendale
kinda-
Bears. Shout out
Yeah,
to the
yeah,
Glendale
yeah.
Bears.
So I forgot about that. I used to play for the Glendale Bears. But yeah, no, I went to a middle school dance, and then I saw a DJ DJing, and that was it.
That
Like,
was it.
Instant, like I was like, yo, like what is this? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I remember walking into the dance and then just like being there. Like just I got kind of like I just glided. It felt like I was gliding through there.
Yeah.
And just stood there the whole time, and then like instantly I was like, Mom, I want to be a DJ. And my parents are paisas, so they're just like, DJ,
Like,
que DJ.
¿qué chingados estás hablando?
Yeah, like like a DJ. Okay, mijo, okay. You know what I mean?
mijo. Me los
And I-
brazos.
But I really was. I was like, it was like one of those crazy surreal moments that like when I saw it,
Yeah.
I instantly was just like, yo, I want to do this.
Mhm.
But prior to that, the reason I said I played for the Glendale Bears, I was really like infatuated with playing football.
Mm.
Like that was like my dream. Like I'm gonna be an NFL player.
I
Like
feel you, dog.
I'm gonna do it. Like, you know what I mean? And the story about being a Glendale Bear was that I was always a fat kid, like a really, really big kid. So when my mom signed me up, she signed me up because I was overweight. and she was like, we need to
tricked you.
we need to get mijo to stop eating tortillas.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to do with him because he's a ball right now. You know what I mean?
Hey, they got us, bro. They got me the same way.
And
Yeah.
so my mom, I guess one of her friends was like, yo, that she worked with at the time was like, hey, my son, plays football. You should sign him up.
Yeah.
So we went, they signed me up, and I was literally like 30 pounds overweight.
Oh,
like,
shit.
I couldn't even play with I think it went to the sixth graders. So I was like a third grader at the time. I was like 9 or 8. And they were just like, yo, he's too big, like even to play with the sixth graders.
Damn, for real?
Like, but we'll sign him up, but he can't gear up. Like, there's nothing we could do. But if you sign him up, and my mom was kind of like, yo, sign him up. We just want him to lose weight.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, we'll sign him up and we'll see if he loses weight. And literally my whole first football experience was literally me running laps at Glendale High. Like literally just running every practice. Like I would do all the drills and everything like without pads, but I mean like all the stuff you do in the beginning, the crunches, the running the miles. And then once the actual hitting and all that stuff happened, I would just go because we practiced at Glendale High. I would just go to the actual stadium and I would just run laps all day. And I
for
would
real?
wear like the like bags and stuff.
I thought you were gonna say the caution tape.
No.
Like, keep away from him.
Oh, man.
They're like big load.
Right? I'm over this. I'm done. You said what? Being fat shaming, dog. You're fat shaming.
Hey, baby. I'm right here, baby.
No, it's middle school shit. Middle school
Yeah,
shit.
man.
Imagine.
So pretty much, I had to lose all kinds of weight, and I did it. You know what I mean? So I lost the weight. I ended up being able to play some games.
Oh,
and from
shit.
that moment on, like it was just straight like football
Yeah.
until I went to junior high, and I was like, oh my god, DJing. Like, what is this? Like, I'm on love now, and my passion changed like that. Like, it went from like, I want to be a football player, I'm gonna play for the NFL, to like literally like, I don't know what this is, but I want to learn more and more.
Yeah.
And then instantly, it was just one of those things where everything came with it. Like, it was just like, I need to find out what records they were playing.
Yeah.
It was like Hard House era at the time. This is like 1997, 98.
Okay.
And I was just like, yo, like, I don't know what that was, but it's dope. And they had turntables, and I did everything. I'm talking about like full blown, like looking into what kind of equipment they had. And this is like back in the day. So it was like Vastix was in, 1200s, Serving Vegas.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
And I was just like, yo, like, I need to know. It's like a drug. And then, of course, like, once I kept knowing more information and meeting, like, the DJs, and then there was DJs at school, like, you know, we start kind of, like, you know, bonding, and I was just trying to figure it out. And then, of course, with DJing, then all the elements of hip-hop come. So it was just like, oh, like, DJing's involved with breakdancing. I'm too fat to breakdance, but I'll try it. You know what I mean? Like, and then it's like, oh, it comes with graffiti. Like, cool, all my homies are into graffiti. Like, I'm going to try it out too. You know what I mean? And then, but the DJ part just was the thing that was, like, in my head all the time. And it was just like, I kept bugging my mom and dad, like, you know, I need to buy something. I need to do something. And then eventually, I think my mom was just kind of like, I don't know if she was tired of it or she really saw that I had a passion for it. So they were kind of like, okay, let's save up some money during the summer and we'll see what we can get you.
Okay.
And I think it was summer going into 8th grade when I got my first setup. We went to Astros here in Glendale.
Oh, shit.
Glendale Burbank, and I was just like, man, those chips are coming in, my bad. I ate like the whole bag. I'm like, heartburn. So yeah, so like we went to mind you, like, my parents don't know nothing about this.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about this. So we get to Astros in Glendale, and they like completely ripped me off. Like, not even knowing, like, like, we were willing to spend money, you know what I mean? But they just were like, oh, cool, you want to be a DJ? Well, we're trying to sell this DJ in a box thing. It has turntables, it has a mixer, it has headphones, needles.
You're like, yeah?
Dude, like, what? You know, and my dad's like, cool, how much? You're like, oh, it's like $600. Oh, cool. And then, of course, at the time, we were just ecstatic. Buy all this stuff. Bring it home. Like, I calling the homies, and there's no cell phones back then. So this is like, yo, mom, my mom's on the cheese man. Espérate. Like, oh, mom, but come on. Like, I need to call everybody.
I'm trying
to
set it up.
You know what I mean? So then finally, once my mom was done in her cheese man, I was calling my homies. Dude, you got him. Yeah. What'd you get? You get 1200? Did you get a Vastix? Yeah, dude. Yeah. I got it.
I got whatever you said.
Yeah, I got it, dude. And then, so at the time, like, there was like this big, like, this is like party crew days.
Yeah.
So there was, I don't remember the exact name, but it was something like, not Fat Beats, but like, it was some crew like that. And my homie just happened to know some of them. And these were the guys that DJ'd at my junior high. So I was like, he's like, yo, they're going to come through. Yeah. And I was like, oh, man, all excited. Like, you know, like to me at the time, these guys were, you know, everything. Yeah. I was like, dude. And, yeah, they show up to my house. And then, mind you, this is vinyl day. So this was like they have the vinyl backpacks. Like, these guys are legit. Like, the vinyl backpacks, the vinyl crates with the see-through, like glass. And I was like hype. And they're like, yo, they walk in. Yo, what's up, Daz? What's up? Like, I'm like, yo, dude, these are here. My mom's like, getting tacos? She's in the bag, like, tacos? Like, I'm in the zone, mom. Let me be. And then they're like, where's the setup, man? I was like, oh, it's right there. And at the time, we had like a little garage, and I had the table set up, right? And they walk in.
What's set up?
Yeah, right?
Wait, hey, stop fucking around. For real, where's it at?
Yeah, they walk in, dogs, and like, I'll never forget this. Like, I'm outside, like, you know, just like a little kid, like, yo, they're about to get down. And the homie walks out with his bag, and he's like, yo, I ain't playing my records on that shit. And I was just like, and then the other homie's like, what do you mean? He's like, fool got some American DJ shit. Like, nah, dogs, we out. And then the homie that, like, got him to come here was like, bro, you told me you had 1200s.
Yeah.
That's what it says on there. Like, bro, that's, and then so we go in there, and then they're like, bro, where'd you buy this shit? And I was like, Astro's like, bro, get your money back, dog. He's like, how much? And then I told them, and they were like roasting me, like, you know, they're like kids too, but they're just like, you know, like,
it says 120. Yeah. And did they bounce?
No, they bounced.
You're like, wait. You're like, my mom made tacos,
no,
though.
like, for real, dude. It was like one of those things where I was just like, are you like? I was like heartbroken instantly, and then kind of like, yo, are you serious? Like, and my homie just looked at me like, dog,
La cagaste,
güey. Yeah, like you
don't fucking talk to me.
No, for
ever
real.
again.
Like he was just like, and he just walked out. And I was just like, yo, man, like this is like my heart just sank.
You're all packing the shit up, like,
and then I went in there. And mind you, like
your parents are like, ya se fueron.
Right, yeah.
Y los tacos.
Yeah. Like my mom's like, ¿qué pasó? I was like, you don't understand, mom. Just run up to my room. You don't understand.
Me llevas 3 tacos para el cuarto.
It's okay, mijo. It's okay. So I was just like, yo, man, like it was heartbreaking. And then like the one fool that was like a wannabe DJ at the time was just like, oh, dogs, don't trip, dogs. We wired this up. Yeah. You know what I mean? He wired it up. We were putting it on the stereos at the time, the Sony stereos. Yo, bro, see, look, man, we got sound.
Okay, he was a supportive homie.
You know what I mean? But now when you think about it, when you're older, it's like that fool didn't know shit either. He was just like, this fool got tables. He was
reading the manual.
Yeah. This fool got tables. He thinks I'm cool. Let's let's do it. And so he put it on, and then of course later on, the next couple of days at school, everyone's clowning, and then people are just like, yo, like, you didn't even get the right turntables. Like, you got belt drive tables. Like, you can't even do nothing with them. Like, we don't even know if the mixer really works. Like, so it was just one of those moments where I was like, damn, like, it's not really that easy. Yeah. And then, but that was 8th grade, and then I just started, like, buying records here and there, and I would go with my dad to, downtown L.A., and we'd buy records and, what I heard, and then that's when the whole party vibe of it started coming, where I started just like, man, like, dude, everyone would talk, like, I don't even know if this is still open, but I know back in the day, like, the arena was, like, the big thing.
Oh, yo, we just talked about it. I think they said it closed down.
Did it?
Not that long ago,
Yeah. So back then, mind you, this was, like, this is back in the day where it was, like, party crews and stuff. Yeah. And, like, I'll never forget that there's one name that I'll never forget. It's called Players Dimension at the time. And I remember because there was, like, kids from my school that were in that crew. And they were always the cool ones. And mind you, like, it's crazy how time travels now. Yeah. But back then, like, they wore all the Adidas suits, like, the sweatsuits. They had the Vangs with the colored, like, bleached tops. And they had all... Your cousin's like, that's me.
Oh,
that's me.
That was me. You went to the arena too?
What's up? That was you. He's like, let me freestyle real quick.
Kevin was like...
This time it's war. No.
Kevin's all like, fuck.
Yeah, was like, it's throwback.
So it was like, and then that's when like DJ Irene was like the biggest thing in the world. Like her, Richard Humpty Vision.
Damn.
And,
legends, man.
Yeah,
legends.
so like I was just like, I started getting more fascinated with that stuff. And, again, my parents were really, really good parents. Like, they never wanted me to be involved in all of that stuff. They didn't want us to be involved in gangs and either. And my mom's side of the family is a little crazy, you know what I mean? So if my tio's watching, I love you, but we good now.
Yeah, we good.
You know what I mean? So like, that's why we lived in Glendale, you know what I mean? And, I had my little homies and, my homie, his dad was one of those guys that just was like, let him do whatever the fuck he wanted. So, like, when he was like, yo, bro, his name was Johnny. Shout out to my boy. I haven't seen him in a long time, but every once in a while, he'll pop up on my social media. Yo, remember me, Daz? Yeah, Daz, I love you, man. So, but, now we old. I don't know where you've been at. Yeah. It might get weird, so we just keep a distance.
Yeah.
But, like, he was like, yo, dude, my dad would drop us off at the arena. He doesn't know what the fuck it is. Like, I was like, for real? He's like, yeah. Like, well, what do we tell my mom?
Yeah.
We'll just say that you're going to come eat with us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And his dad would like to go to, like, the billiards and shit. So his dad was just like, all right, I'll drop you guys off, and when I'm done at the billiards, I'll pick you guys up. So the first time I went to the arena, that's what it was. It was like, I convinced my mom, we both did, like, yo, we're going to go eat with Johnny's dad. And, okay, mijo, si vas con Johnny, okay. And we got dropped off the arena, and I remember, like, I was just, like, blown away. Like, I was like, whoa, this is a nightclub.
Yeah,
like,
it's different.
Like,
you walk in, you see the go-go dancers.
Yeah. I was like, wow. And then there was like 100 people in Adidas suits and bleached blonde hair. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you didn't know this, but Kevin was the promoter at that time. Kevin was like, all right,
with the baby pacifier in the mouth. But I didn't know why. I was just, at the time, I didn't know about drugs, so they were just like, I was like, this is awesome. It was like,
you're like, where'd I get those at?
Right? Yeah. So I was just like, it was just dope. And then, of course, once I got in, it just blew my mind. And we were only there, honestly, for like an hour, I think it was. Yeah. Because remember, there was no cell phones back then. So my buddy had a watch, and he just kept looking like, yo, my dad said he's going to be here at 12. So if we don't go back at 12, I'm going to get my ass kicked. You know what I mean? And it was just like, we just kind of like figured it out. And then when we left, I was just like, yo, this is, oh my God, my life just changed in front of me. And then that was it. And then I just kept, trying to get familiar with everything, buying records and stuff. And then, but I was a troublemaker, like on between that.
And this was high school time?
No, this is still junior high.
Oh, this is still middle school.
Junior high.
Oh,
so this is all like 8th grade. And I was just like one of those kids where I have great parents. I have a good living situation, but I want to be a bad boy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just
I'm feeling dangerous.
Yeah, like I just want to be a G. You know what I mean? I want to have bleach hair and beads, but I want to beat up some people. You know what I mean? Like,
oh shit. Also, all right, hanging with Beatdrop podcast. I was like, oh shit. He's like, I just want to get crazy. Like, oh shit.
Oh, I'm a grizzly bear now.
Oh damn! I didn't think
Yeah,
like
right?
Pokemon.
I was like, this was a mistake, guys. I'm sorry.
Right? So pretty much, yeah, dude. Just if you guys don't know, Glendale it's just, I don't know how it is now, but back then, like 98, 99, 97, like it was like Armenians versus Mexicans, and it was just like we just didn't get along. It was just one of those weird situations, and I just kept finding myself in these dumb situations where it was like I would get in a fight, then it would turn into 2 fights, and then it would just keep escalating. And when you're young, that sometimes is cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like people think you're cool. And then I didn't realize that all my years playing football, I got kind of swole. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, I was laying people out, and I was like, yeah, I'm the man. And then all that bad stuff started catching up, and it caught up fast. Like, and then things just started happening, and my mom was just like, yo, we need to get this kid out of here. Like, this kid's about to ruin his whole life. Like, he's getting kicked out of school already. I just started going to freshman year in Hoover High School, and I was already deep. Like, I was already getting suspended. They were already like,
oh shit,
like, yo, we need to get this guy out.
And were you still DJing at that time?
Yeah, I was still. That's what I'm saying. Like, I love DJing, but I was just kind of caught up in that moment. Of like, you're kind of growing.
Yeah.
You love DJing because you don't know yet why you love it. You just know you love music. You love what you saw. But then I always remember this because my teachers would always tell my mom, your son is great and he's going to be something amazing, but he's influenced by his kid, by his friends, like all the time. So I was always the guy that had the homies that were like, let's do dumb stuff. And I'm like, all right. Like, you know what I mean? Hey, you going to jump off a bridge with your homie? Yeah. Because, like, hey, why not? You know what I mean? And it was just one of those things where I got caught up in and no offense to them, my homies, but at the time we were just all kids, like trying to figure it out. And then we were like taggers and fighting people because they would like cross our name out, like stupid stuff like that. You know what I mean? And it just caught up. Like, it was like quick. And then it was just one of those things where it got a little scary, where it was just like I was getting jumped everywhere. I couldn't go to the mall. Like, I was just like, yo, what did I get myself into? Like, it was cool when I was doing the beating up, but then it caught up.
You're like, but this shit kind of hurts.
Yeah, like, and my mom was just like, yo, we need to get out. And one of my uncles, he lived in Bakersfield, and he had just moved there, and we want to go visit him. And my mom was like, yo,
this is it.
There's no gangs. There's nothing. Like, this is amazing. Like, this is, and my parents call me Chavo. They're like, this is where Chavo has to go. Like, we need to bring him here. And God made it happen. And next thing I know, we're driving to Bakersfield, and I was just like heartbroken. Like,
fuck.
Yeah, no, for real. It's like, what the fuck did I do?
You start speaking in third person. Fucking Chavo.
Yeah.
Chavo, bitch, I stay away.
Dude, like, and it was crazy because at the time, right? So it's 8th grade, 9th grade. I'm doing the dumb stuff, but I'm still so like clubs.
Yeah.
And back then they had like Insider magazines. They had all these like, parties crews were huge, house parties were huge. Like it was the Groover stage, the Rebel stage, like, and then they just had magazines, and it was just pictures of girls in clubs, like, and I was just like fascinated with this stuff. Like, I was just like, yo, like, till this day, like a couple years ago, I cleaned out my old room at my parents' house, and I had still cut up pictures of those Insider magazines in there.
That's
like literally. And then the craziest thing was, like, I had like the girl part, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have all the nice sexy girls, and then I had like the DJ one.
Yeah.
And it was like all these pictures were like E-Man, Vice, the Baker Boys, like, and it was all cut up, and I was just like, dude, damn, I can't remember. I even had old Power 106 stickers, like, on my,
that's crazy.
on my wall, like the old OG ones that look like the Cholo stickers that you used to get at the market.
Yeah,
You put a quarter in, and they have like that.
You go like this, like
yeah, like it has that.
yeah, you go like
Like calcomanía.
Yeah,
shit.
and then you're
like, it
you're
has
who'd I
that-
get? Who'd I get?
Yeah,
Fuck.
yeah. The little homies too.
Yeah, you're like, I already got this
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
So yeah, but I left to Bakersfield with all that in my mind, like,
Yeah.
and it was always like, yo, I'm gonna come back. Like
Right.
my goal was always like, I have to come back. I'm gonna DJ on the radio. I'm gonna be in all these clubs. I'm gonna come back. So I get to Bakersfield, and it was like a 360, like complete culture shock. Like it was different. It was like you come from a city where I was already taking the metro everywhere. I was already, I was independent. I was walking around with backpacks. You know what I mean? You're a tagger. You're walking around with that. And then I get to Bakersfield, and it's literally like a Disney movie where you're just like, there's fall. You know what I mean?
You're like,
oh,
whoa.
wow. There's kind of a little bit
There's
of
like
snow.
leaves.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? There's like people opening the door for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I was just like out of my element and was just like, I hate it here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I hate it. Like, what am I doing here? Like, you fucked up, man.
Yeah.
You know what I
What kind of shit is this?
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I got to Bakersfield, and then I got there like the last week of like my freshman year. So I didn't even have time to make friends or anything. It was just like, yo, I'm here. Let's do it.
rock with it.
Let's just go with it. And then all that summer, I just was in my room just practicing, like with the vinyl I had, and then the vinyl I was, my parents, their deal was like, we're moving to Bakersfield, but every week we'll come back. And you
Okay.
could see your friends, and I would just come back and buy vinyl, like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And then so I would go home. So all summer, that's all I did. Like, I didn't think I was good. I didn't think I was anything. And mind you, like, I didn't know the talent that had come from Bakersfield. I was like, I don't know. And I had no idea that there was all these amazing DJs that I was already looking up to that were actually from Bakersfield. So all that summer, all I did was practice. Just in my room, mad, and just like mad at myself, mad, like, yo, how did I end up here? And then so when I started school again, I was like, I'm going to try to get back to football. So I got back into football, met some homies, met some friends. I was like, yo, now it's, now you're getting comfortable. I met some, one of the guys, he wasn't a DJ, but his name was Little Jose. We called him Little Jose. And he was like, yo, I have a homie named Pete. He's a DJ too.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, cool, man. Like, let's link up. You know what I mean? So he linked us up. And then that's where I started. And he's still one of my best friends. Shout out to my boy Pete. And that's when he was like, yo, man, like, yeah, where you from? I told him, and he's like, dude, like, that's dope. Like, the Baker boys are from Bakersfield. What? He's like, Mr. Chalk's from Bakersfield. What? Like, C Minus is from Baker. I'm like, what the fuck? So my mind was like, yo, I'm tripping. Like, this is crazy. Like, what do you mean? These are the guys I listen to. Like, you're lying. Nah, dude, these fools are all from Bakersfield. And then that's when I was like, I guess I embraced it more.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, yo, like, my idols are from Bakersfield. Like, whoa, this is crazy. So then I looked more into it, and then, like, I think the Baker Boys at the time had like a record store there, so I would go buy vinyl there, and it was just dope. Like that whole, and of course through high school, you grow up, you do dumb stuff, but I always kept that energy, that whole DJ mentality. So actually, so after I meet my buddy Pete, the whole time I'm like, bro, we got a DJ at school. Like, what do you mean? I was like, bro, like at my old school in Glendale, like they had a DJ at lunch. Like, dude, we'd be like the coolest guys there. Like, you know what I mean? Mind you, all my football homies, like, they all like to party too, and I'm showing them these magazines. Like, yo, look at Insider magazines, this and that. They're like, dude, but this is in LA. Like, I'm like, nah, dude, but we could do house parties. Like, we could draw a flyer. We could, we could do all this. I don't know, dog. So it was kind of like all sophomore year was kind of like me, like, brainwashing everybody. Like, yo,
putting the idea out.
Bro, we need a DJ at school. We need to do this. And then, mind you, like, I'm one of those guys where I was influenced, and I just always felt like I sucked. Like, to this day, I still think I suck. When people are like, dude, you do some pretty dope shit, I'm like, nah, I'm not good though. Like, you know what I mean? And so when I met my friend Pete, he was like, the first day I met him, he was like, oh, I don't know how to mix, but, like, do you know how to mix? I was like, I don't know, dude. And at the time, I still had the shitty ass turntables. So I've been practicing on those all summer. And I finally had saved up enough money. My dad was like, cool. And to top it off, the the same place that ripped us off is the same place I went back.
He's like, so you finally come back.
Yeah.
He's like,
but this
excellent.
time I knew. I was like,
Yeah.
I want 1200s. I want a Vastic mixer. Y'all ripped me off last time, so we want, you know what I mean? Like, and they hooked us up fat.
He's like, all right.
Yeah,
I
like,
got
look,
you.
dog, you know, it happens, dog. I was like, don't worry.
I was trying to humble you.
Yeah, you know what I mean? We'll even throw in matching cases for your mixer.
Yeah.
We call it even.
You're like, all right,
cool.
Let me get that red one.
Yeah. It was blue,
fine,
but you know,
yeah.
And so dude, my boy Pete was like, dude, like I started mixing, and he's like, how do you know how to mix? Are you counting? I was like, nah, dude, I just learned off of this shit. And so he hyped me up enough to be like, okay, now let's DJ at these schools, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So all sophomore year, we just kind of like just brainwashed each other, like, yo guys, let's do some house parties. And junior year came, and I finally convinced the school to let us DJ, and everything just kind of came together. It was like the homies found their uncle had an abandoned house.
Oh shit.
I already kind of had let's make a flyer. We're gonna DJ here at lunch. There's a rally today, and this is what you guys are gonna do. While I DJ, you pass out flyers to everyone. You know what I mean? And mind you, like, Hoover High School was back then 3 stories tall, 2 different units. Like, it was huge. In Bakersfield, it's like an elementary school. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So they know who's passing out flyers. They know what we're doing. You know what I mean? So we did it. Kind of got in trouble a little bit. Like, what is this? Like, like you guys, and mind you, this was like our first party, so we didn't even know what to do. And I just kind of like told everyone what to write. Like, write this, write the address. Oh, what do we do for beer? Like, I don't know, just put that we're going to have a keg. You know what I mean? We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And the first time I DJed at school, exactly what I thought was going to happen. Like, everyone came up and was like, yo, what is this? Like, what are you doing? Like, we DJing. And we became like the cool kid, like, for a day, because I was still corny and fat. So it was like, so for like a day, we just like, it happened. And then boom, like, then from there on, we were known as, those are the guys that do the house parties.
Hey.
So for a couple years, like all through high school, we were throwing all the house parties. After high school, we were throwing house parties, and it was just like one of those things. But my goal was always like, I got to go back to LA. Like, I got to go. And, when I'd fight with my mom being a teenager, I was like, I'm leaving. Mom. When I turn 18, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done.
And I'm going to go work at Power 106, and I'm going to DJ all these customers. You're not going to stop me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And my mom's like, you're going out every night. Like, you know what I mean? You're 17. Stay home.
Yeah.
And then, but so while all that's going on, life comes, and that's when like tragedy hit, and my grandma passed away, and it just flipped everything around. Like the whole universe just kind of stopped for a second. And my family has a background of alcoholics and drug abuse and stuff like that. So it's on our blood. So when my grandma, like, she didn't just pass away, like, she committed suicide. And it just like, and this was like my senior year, and it just kind of like derailed us. But I didn't understand at the time. I was just kind of like, still doing my thing, and I didn't understand it. I understood it, but I didn't understand it. Like, I didn't realize how bad of an impact it was. And then of course, like almost a year later, then my grandpa passed away, and he pretty much just depressed, drank himself, and that's what happened. And I didn't realize the effects it took of me, but it really, like, everything just changed. Like, it just changed. Like, the minute that happened, like, the dreams and goals kind of were different.
Yeah.
Then, it just, the family situation was harder. Of course, my mom was always breaking down. Like, it was just kind of like a sadness. And at the time, I still didn't really understand the effects. I was just kind of, like, dealing with the pain by partying. Like, I was just like, party. Let's like, oh, my mom's sad. Oh, mom, I love you, but I'm gonna head out with so and so, and then party all night. And then it just before you knew it, I was like, I think I have a drinking problem. Like, I think I'm an alcoholic. Like, you know what I mean? But I was still kind of like, no, I'm not an alcoholic. I'm not an alcoholic. And then I started getting in trouble. And then I got my first DUI. And I was just like, I was like, man, I wasn't even 21 yet. Like, I got it like a couple months before I turned 21. And it wasn't like I crashed or anything, but it's still like, it wasn't right. Like, I shouldn't have been drinking and driving. So I got my first DUI. And I was like, man, like, what am I doing? And at the time, I was in like this crazy relationship too. But mind you, like, now when I think back at it, it had a lot to do with everything that was going on at home. Like, you know what I mean? There's just a lot of pain, and you don't really know how you're coping with it. You're just kind of coping with it. You know what I mean? And so me in this relationship didn't help either because it was toxic from the beginning. Like, and it went on for 4 years. So it was just like, I'm depressed. We're both drunks. We're just living in the moment. You know what I mean? So I got my first DUI, and, it was kind of like it got dropped down. The only reason they it wasn't like I was over the alcohol limit, but it's a longer story, but it got, taken down a little bit, kind of like a slap in the hand. My parents helped me out. They paid for it. So you kind of don't learn your lesson. You're kind of like, oh, all right, I'm good. You know what I mean? They did suspend my license for a year, but it wasn't like I was following the rules anyways. But at that moment, I was still like, yo, you fucking up.
Yeah.
Like, let's get back. Let's get your life together. Like, dude, this is not who you are. Like, you're not this kind of person. You already know, like, you've been knowing your whole life, like, alcoholism runs in your family. Like, bro, you need to chill. Like, you know what I mean? You're like, it was like I was talking to myself, like, calm down. And then I didn't. So I continued to party, and, but I still was continuing to DJ and everything. And I was burning a lot of bridges. I was doing a lot of dumb stuff and just drinking and partying. And then I got another DUI. And then I was like, yo, like, what is going on? Like, get your life together. Again, it was one of those things where I got the second DUI, but it was kind of like a slap in the hand again. Like, I didn't blow over the limit, but whatever. Now I'm like, really like, yo, I got a drinking problem. Yeah. Like, I need to fix this. Like, I don't know. And again, like, I have an uncle who I love more than ever in the world, and he's been clean and sober for almost 20 years now. And, he's lived in LA at the time. So, like, I knew of him, and I've always, like, admired him. But at the time, I was lost. So I was just like, and I remember, like, thinking to myself, like, man, maybe I should reach out to him. Like, because this is getting out of control. Like, I got 2 DUIs now, and I'm still partying. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still, like, I'm not stopping. Like, I'm still, like, yo, what's going on? And then, like a year and a half later, still continuing the same path. I'm still DJing. I'm still, being able to DJ at all these bars. Like, but I'm still like, yo, man, my goal is to DJ on radio. My goal is to you just like a DJ, you have all these dreams and ambitions. And I'm just like, I'm feeling like it keeps going lower and lower. Like, what am I doing? And then, boom, I get my third one. And right before I got my third one, I had this moment where I wasn't feeling good. Like, I've been feeling really bad, really tired. Just things weren't adding up. And I went to the doctor, and they were like, yo, man, you got diabetes. Like, you need to get yourself together. Like, do you drink a lot? Like, what's going on? And I was like, well, yeah, I drink a lot. Like, cool. Well, you have type 2 diabetes, but if you don't want to mess this up, like, you need to stop. Like, you need to stop drinking. And I was like, yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm good. Like, I'm not going to. But of course, like, that lasted like a week. And then I went right back to partying. Like they gave me my medicine, everything, and I was just like, all right. Like, you have these moments where you know you're doing wrong, but you keep, that's what drugs and alcohol do. They make you believe that.
Kind of mask it, right?
Yeah. Like, that's what you're doing. Like, you're sick. You got type 2 diabetes now. The doctor just told you when you walked in here, your blood levels are like at 700. Like, you could have a stroke right now. But you're not putting 2 and 2 together. Like, you're kind of you're lost in the sauce. So I was just like, yo, man, like, all right, I'll get it together. And every day was like, oh no, tomorrow. And then tomorrow never came. So then the next time tomorrow came was when I got my third DUI.
No fucking way.
Yeah. So I got my third DUI. Now this is no game. Like, now it's, oh, you got a third DUI. Those 2 other ones you got, now it's, you got 3 DUIs. Like, full total, you got 3 DUIs. You're looking to do a year in jail. Your license suspended for the next year to almost 2 years. You need a breathalyzer in your car, and you need to take like so many, like 18, 20 months of school. And you have like a $2,000 fine. And if you don't get an attorney, like, you're looking to do the time. And I was just like, okay, this is rock bottom. Like, you would think I would learn from there, right? And I was just like, oh man, like, what the heck? Mind you, I'm still DJing. I'm still, DJing at the bars. I'm still being that guy, the life of the party. Yeah. No one knows that all this stuff's happening other than my close friends. Yeah. And, even my close friends are like, it's like, it's one of those things where people don't understand. Like, now me and my friends, we still have a great relationship. I love them. Shout out to my boy Kev and my boy Joe and my boy Pete. But, it's one of those things, like, even one of my buddies, my good friend too, his name's Russ. One time we were drinking, right? And he's like, while we were drunk, he's like, man, Oso, do you think you have a problem? And I was like, yeah, I do. Like straight out, just like, yeah, I have a problem. And he's like, man, so what are you gonna do about it? I was like, well, after we take the shot, take another shot. You know what I mean? And he was just like, I love you, right? And I was like, yeah, dude, it's like, I'll get it together one day, guys. Like, it all. Yeah. And he was like, all right. But it's like one of those things, like, as homies, like, sometimes you're scared to tell your friends, like, hey, guys, like, it's one thing to get drunk with us and we party and do stupid stuff, but now you got 3 DUIs. You're literally, your life fell apart. Because when I got the 3rd DUI, like, my parents were taking me to work. Like, if I was a kid, like, you know what I mean? Like, I couldn't drive no more. I was completely broke. Like, not even broke, like negative broke. Like, I didn't have money to pay nothing. I was like literally, reaching out to my homies. Like, I remember reaching out to my boy Kev. I remember reaching out to my boy Joseph. And I was just like, bro, like, I need some money because I need to get an attorney. If I don't get an attorney, like, I'm gonna go to jail. Like, you know what I mean? And then even the attorney, that fool charged me like $4,000. Like, and it's just like, you're just like, yo, like, but again, it was my doing. But I was in that cloud where I was like, even after that happened, I still went and got drunk. Like, after I got out of jail, like, I still went, got home, was like, now I was to the point where I'm used to it. Like, kind of like, it sounds stupid. I was like, screw this. I don't care. Like, we'll fix it later. And then I went and got drunk. Like, you know what I mean? And I was just like, yo, like, I was lost. Like, I was just like out of it. And then after, so I get the attorney helps me out. We postponed pretty much the whole hearing for like a year. They just keep trying to get a new judge. Finally, we get a judge that I guess they like or they got along. And then, story short, I got lucky. I didn't have to do no jail time, but I had to do work release, which is like pretty much you pay them to not go to jail and you work. Like free labor in a sense. Damn. Like, you're paying to do labor. Like
community service type?
Yeah, okay. But like worse. Like, because just depending on where you land at. So like, I landed at downtown where I was washing cars all day, and then they would pick you up, and then they would take you to like places where there was just a bunch of like just trees and weeds and stuff, and you would like, let's say the lot was like 500 square feet or whatever. You would just have to do that until it's all done. So if it took you a week, you would be there a week, just, you know what I mean? And it was just one of those things. And then, mind you, I was still having all these health issues. Like, my diabetes was out of control. At the time, too, because of the alcohol, I got like I had like a gum infection in my mouth. So my teeth just started cracking. Like, they just started falling off. Like, I was just like, so I'm still a drunk, messed up. I'm still trying to DJ. And it was just a mess, dude. It was a mess. That was like the lowest part of my life, where I was just like, man, like, what am I gonna do? Like, and then, but I kept partying, and I kept getting gigs, and I kept, DJing, and eventually, 4 years ago, well, it's a little bit over 4 years ago, April 4th, 2015, 2 years prior to that, was the worst. Like, I was DJing in Bakersfield, had all these gigs. I was DJing at the clubs. I was, but I was unhappy. I was sad. I was sick. My mom was having like strokes on strokes. Like, it was just scary. Like, luckily they weren't major strokes, but like, now I understand what it was. But at the time I was just like, yo, like, the only way I coped with it was I drank. And even though I had all this stuff going on, I wasn't happy. I was just like, yo, man, like I want to DJ. I don't have a plan B. Like, there was never a plan B. Since the moment I fell in love with DJing, it was like, yo, I'm going to become a DJ at Power 106, and I'm going to be the biggest thing in the world. And that's it. That's my life. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? That's it. And no, that's not what happened. It's like, yo, bro, you became a drunk, and you did a bunch of dumb stuff, and now your life's falling apart. Your mom's sick as hell, and you're not doing anything for them, and you're a piece of shit, pretty much. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, you know what I mean? And it was just a constant battle, and I was really to the point where I was just like, I don't know what to do. I don't believe in God. I'm messed up. Every time I drink, I feel like I'm dying. Like, literally, like, I would be in my room the next morning just shaking and just like having cold sweats. Like, one time I was on my way to work because I had a part-time job at a restaurant, and I was driving there, and my body just went numb. Like, literally just went numb. Like, everything from head to toe. Damn. I lost, like, I couldn't even grip the steering wheel. Like, it was just to the point where I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna die right now. And it was just like, all these things were happening, and I was having like really major panic attacks, and then my mom every other week getting a stroke. And I'm just like, yo, what's going on? And mind you, I don't believe in God at the time. I'm just like, there's so much pain and so much stuff that was going on prior to that I was already like, I don't believe in God. If God was real, none of this would be happening.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? And I was just to the point where I was just like, yo, like, I'm fucking dying. Like, that was really what my words were every morning. Like, I'm killing myself. I don't know what to do. And then finally, like, there's these moments I would have while I was drunk. Like, I'm talking about like plaster drunk on a Sunday, 4 a.m, drinking tall cans by myself in my room. And I would just like look at my turntables and just be like, I don't have a plan B. Like, this is all I ever wanted to do. How am I going to fix this? You know what I mean? If I go to rehab right now, they're going to tell me, hey, you got to quit DJing. Like, that's just the truth. They might not tell you got to quit DJing, but you got to quit DJing at these clubs. Mm-hmm. You can't be around alcohol. Like, what are you going to do? And it just felt like I kept getting more and more sick. So, like 6 months before I finally, that was it. I was getting sick every day. And I was just like, anytime I drank, it was like the shakes. It was everything to the max where I couldn't breathe sometimes. And I was just like, yo, I can't do this no more. And the day that I finally stopped drinking, that I took my last drink was, again, April 4th, 2015. I was DJing at the nightclub, and I got a full-blown panic attack. Like, full-blown, body went numb. I'm sweating. It's 12:15. I'll never forget. I text my boy. I'm like, dogs, you might have to call an ambulance right now. I don't know what the fuck's going on with me. Like, he's like, yo, what do you mean? I'm like, just come to the DJ booth. Mind you, the club's full. I'm just like, he comes up there. He's like, bro, you all right? I was like, bro, just give me water. I don't know what I'm going to do. I have a mix or something. And he's like, all right, dogs. And he comes back and he's like, are you good? And I'm like, let me drink some water. Drank some water. And I was like, well, let me try to just muscle through it. Muscle through the night. Even at the end of the night, the owner was like, man, Oso, you don't look good. I was like, I don't know what's wrong with me. And she like gave me orange juice. Maybe your sugar's messed up. Like, I don't know. So that night I got an Uber home, went home, and I woke up the next morning and was just like, look, man, I don't want to talk to you no more. I don't know if you're real. I don't know what I'm going to do. But all I know is that I need help. And you got to help me, dude. Because if you don't help me, I'm going to die. My mom's dying. I'm dying. I don't know what the hell to do. Like, you got to help me, man. And it was April 4th. And by coincidence, it was Easter. But I didn't even celebrate anything back then. And I was like, I'm going to go to the gym. I go to the gym, and it's like, yo, we're closed. It's Easter. And I was like, well, what do I do now? And I was like, well, I just run on the street. And that day, I just ran 3 miles. And every day after that for like almost 6 months, I just ran. And every time I would run, I would just talk to myself like, yo, you got to do this. You can't drink tomorrow. And one day turned into 2 days, 2 days turned into 3 days. My biggest challenge was, of course, at the end of the week or the weekend when I was like, I got to DJ. I haven't DJed sober in like, I don't know, probably 10 years. Like, let's do it. And then when I did it the first time, I was like, oh, man, like, okay, I could rock a party sober. Like, yeah, I'm good. And then that's when, like, my life just started to change. Like, these things just started coming together. And I was just like, it felt like every week, my health was getting way better. And then I never told nobody that I quit drinking. Even my best friends, I was just like, oh, I'm just not drinking today. Because I had been there before. I've been there many times where I was like, oh, I quit. And then like 2 days later or an hour later, I'm taking a shot. Like, bro, I thought you quit. Yeah. Guys, I'm trying to party, man. Yeah. And so I didn't tell nobody. I just kind of kept it to myself. And then I just started like all these cool things started happening. Like I met my girlfriend. And then I was just, even when I met her, I was like, whoa, I can't do this. Like, I'm trying to be sober. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just trying to go with the flow, and I'm getting feelings. And it's crazy, man, how alcohol will depress you to the point where I remember one time, too, it was like a month into me not drinking, like the first month in like 10 years. And I was just watching my mom. Like, she was just like, I don't know, setting up the table. And I was just like I felt like I loved her so much. And I was like, yo, I haven't felt this in so long. And then I hugged her, and she's like, what's wrong with you? I was like, nothing, Mom. I just love you. And I remember, like, I walked out, and I just started kind of like crying. And I was like, all right, you're on the right path. Yeah. You got to keep doing this. And then that's when I started getting, started going to the doctor again, started getting my health back, went and figured out. And then, of course, now I'm dating my girlfriend, and she's like, she's a nurse now. But, you know, at the time she was going to school for LVN and all that. And she was just like, yo, let's get you to these doctors. I didn't even have health insurance back then. She's like, I'll help you get health insurance. We'll get you back on track. And that's pretty much what happened. So I got back on track, started, you know, feeling better, got my diabetes good. Then I was like, yo, it's time to fix my mouth. Like, you know what I mean? I messed up everything. So went to the dentist, started getting my teeth. And then one day my buddy Jogo was like, hey, man, like, I'm at this radio station, like, they're looking for mixers, and, you know, bro, you know, I got you. And I was like, bro, like, let me know, I'm ready. And that was like 6 months into it, when me being sober, like literally 6 months into me being sober, found my girl. I started getting my teeth put in. I could smile now. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Like, why is all this happening to me? Like, I don't deserve this. I'm a piece of shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, all this good stuff's happening to me, and then boom, they're like, yo, come in, we'll interview you. You know what I mean? And the program director at the time went to the club, heard me, he thought I was dope, and then he was like, yo, man, you're on. Like you start next weekend. And I remember, like, I got in my car and I started crying, and I was just like, yo, I can't believe this. You know what I mean? I called my girl, and she's like, dude, like, baby, I'm so happy for you. And I was like, okay, now we're done crying. Now is when the hard work starts. Like, like, yo, this is going to get me to LA. And she's like, okay. Like, that was literally her response. Like, and I was like, no, this is it. Like, this is what I've been wanting. This is going to teach me everything I need to know. I got to do everything. I got to do it all. And I just went on this crazy, just like, rampage of like, yo, I got to make up for all the years I messed up. And then, of course, my health got great. I'm even to the stages now where I'm reversing my diabetes. I got my full smile back. It cost me a grip of money. Like, I'm not even lying. Take care of your teeth, because it would take a big chunk out of your and then after that too, you know, of course, my girl, who's an angel, and I love her more than anything in the world, and, you know, she doesn't drink really either, so it's one of those relationships where, you know what I mean. And then the biggest thing I got out of that though was that after I got the radio job, my girl she's a Christian, and she's always like, I'm not gonna push you to do what you don't want to do, but if you want to go to church, we'll go to church. And all these things kept happening to me. Like, at the time, I didn't understand. Like, random people would just come up to me and talk to me like, yo, how are you? This, and just talk to me. And then, oh, I've been sober for this long. What? Me too. Like, you know, have you tried going to church? Oh, yeah, no, I'm thinking about it. Like, and all these things just kept happening. And I got stories on stories where it was just like, to the point where it was probably a dozen people, just random people, that were just like, yo, like, you should go to church. You should go to church. And finally one day, like, everything lined up, and then this is how God works. Like, the things that I was thinking before even telling people were coming together for me just to go to church that one day. And then I was just like, all right, all right. Like, you know, I told my girl, and I was like, hey, do they still do that mass in the evening? And she's like, yeah, you want to go? Like a little puppy. And I was like, yeah, I mean, yeah, sure, let's go. And the first day I went to church, man, like, it blew my mind to the extreme. Like, I had felt the Holy Spirit, but that day I felt the Holy Spirit, like, to the point where it, like, I felt like every question, you know, because I was really taking it bad. After I got sober, there was a lot of things I was blaming myself for, a lot of guilt, a lot of mistakes I done, me treating my parents differently, me not caring about my parents, you know, me neglecting the people I love, everything. Like, I was to the point where I was kind of hurting myself, like mentally, because I was draining myself with that, like, it's all my fault. It's all my fault. Like, I should have known better. Like, look at all the years you wasted. Like, you're never going to accomplish anything. Like, and that day I went to church, it was like all those prayers were answered, even to the point of why I stopped believing in God at the time. It even resolved the my grandparents dying and the way they died, and how my grandma did what she did. And then my mom being sick. Like, my mom's, she was born with rheumatoid arthritis. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's pretty much like your joints, you get all deformed. She was from birth. My girlfriend has lupus. You know what I mean? Like, there was just a lot of things I was just really mad about, you know, which I thought I was blaming on God. And that day, that single day changed my life forever. Like, I never looked at life any way other. I went from, I'm still human, so don't get me wrong. Like, you know, you still get mad here and there, but that day changed my life to the max. For that day, I left church and I was like, I will never, ever not have faith, because with God, everything and anything is possible. And of course, since then, other things have opened up. I mean, I kept, you know, did what I had to do in radio and worked my butt off in Bakersfield and was just like, yo, let's do this. Like you don't have tomorrow because you wasted tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, today is today, and every day I wake up, and that's why I have so many mixes out. That's why the merch, everything, like I work so hard because I'm like, yo, you wasted all that time. Which I told my girl that one time, and this is crazy because I was looking on Instagram. This is what I did for a while because I was finally like, I think I'm ready to try to do things in LA. And I was just on Instagram, and my buddy Sergio was like, yo, shout out to my boy Sergio. He was like, yo, dog, like they do all these DJ tryouts everywhere. Like you know, just go on Instagram and I'll send you some. And he started sending me some, and we would just go. Like we'd try out for this promotion group or these promoters, and yo, you're good. Okay, we'll put you on. Yo, you're good. We'll put you on. And then I tried out at Extapia with my boy Juice, and he had like a little DJ competition, and I ended up winning it. And nothing came from it at the time, but it opened the doors for everything else. And then one day I work at DB in Downey, and they were like, yo, we need a DJ. Like, you know, would you be interested? And I was like, yeah. They're like, have you ever done anything here? And I was like, well, I did this, and that. Turns out they're good friends, and you know how it works when you network. Yeah. And they were like, cool, we'll put you on as our new resident. And I already knew instantly. I was like, yo, this is going to be my other way to be able to network with all the people I admire. You know what I mean? Yeah. And since then, I just been networking and DJing, and now my life is completely different. Like, it's like a full 360. Like, to tell you that 10 years ago, like, that's what a lot of people too, like nowadays, they're always like, man, you're always happy. Like, you're always positive. I'm like, yeah, because like,
you went through some shit.
I went through all of it,
You're
dog.
grateful.
Like, I was like, everything's a blessing. That's why even today or on Monday when you text me, I was like, bro, me? Like, dogs, you have Medic, you have Teddy, you have Fuse, you have everybody. I know I'm forgetting some names, but like, I listen to your guys' podcast, and everyone has like, you know, these guys are accomplished to me, you know what I mean? But again, it's so dope to hear that they always want more. Right. And that solidifies to me why I always wanted to be part of that group. Because I'm like, yo, like, you would think that everyone thinks the same way. Nah. Like, you know what I mean? Everyone goes through the trials. Everyone goes through the things. So to me, like, it's just one of those things where, like, everything's a blessing. To the point, even some people are like, man, don't you get tired of DJing at that club? Nah, dude, it's a blessing. Like, even being here, it's like, yo, like, to tell you guys, I'm a Power 106 kid. I'm a radio kid. Like, I'm one of those guys where everyone that's at that station is, to me, it's like, it's up here. You know what I mean? So to me, even talking to you, talking to everyone, like, I'm just like, I'm still at awe. Like, I know sometimes I might come out real corny because I'll be like, oh shit, I'm talking to Beatdrop. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh shit, I'm talking to fucking Fuse. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, oh shit. You know what I mean? And it's crazy too, because through everything I went through, it's also given me that extra, like, I don't care what people think. Like, I don't know if you guys know, but I've been sending demos to every DJ I know for like the last 2 years. And it's not even like, and it's funny because I was talking to just another DJ, and he was like, so what do you do? Blah, blah, blah. Like, you know what I mean? How are you trying to get on? I was like, I just been sending demos every week. Right. And they're like, why? Like, what if they get annoyed? I was like, I don't care. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you don't speak, you're not gonna, nothing's ever gonna happen. You know what I mean? And if you don't,
closed mouths don't get fed.
Yeah. And then a lot of people, what I notice, everyone lives through fear. Like, what is that guy gonna say? Like, what if I tell these guys about me being an alcoholic, are they not gonna want to be my friend? Or if I tell this person that I don't like the 49ers, which I love the 49ers.
That's right.
Just, you know what I mean?
That's right.
This is where we're gonna end the podcast.
You know what I mean?
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for
coming. That's you're my boy.
You know what I mean? Like,
my boy.
You know what I mean? If I say that, like, you know, are they gonna get mad? And to me, I don't have that. Like, don't get me wrong. I get uncomfortable. I get insecure. Like, bro, like, even the things I've done by myself, just going out my way to say hi to someone. Yeah. Like, it takes courage. Like, and sometimes people are, you know, that holds them back from an opportunity or just being honest with someone. You know what I mean? And I've reached out to a lot of people, and I'm always that guy where I don't care if people think I'm corny. Like, to me, I'm like, bro, you can't tell me nothing. Nothing's going to make me feel embarrassed. I used to pass out at nightclubs. You know what I mean? Like I used to pass out at nightclubs and literally be asleep, and people be pouring drinks on me like, yo, this fool blacked out and he's passed out. Like, you think you telling me that, yo, you know, you saying no to me is going to make me feel embarrassed? It's only going to make me work harder. You know what I mean? And that's why I push that so hard. Like, yo, you just, there's no days off. Like, there really is no days off for me. Because every day I'm like, I'm getting older. I ruined a lot of things, but I've also realized from everything that's happened the last 4 years, nothing moves until God wants it to move. And that's the truth, because I tried and I've been wanting to be on radio my whole life. The minute I got good with God, the minute I got sober, that's when everything happened.
Right.
That's when it was like, cool, here you go. And then I do what I can with it. And the minute that I was like, yo, I'm not ready to, like, to me, you know, LA's the Mecca. So I'm like, I can't DJ at these spots. I'm not good enough yet. I'm not this. But when God knew, you're like, cool, you're good, you're ready. Like, then these doors just started opening. You know what I mean? And the same thing too, like when I started going on Instagram and looking for all these gigs and trying to try out for these things, like I was scared. I was beyond scared. And I know to some people are probably like, that's corny. I ain't scared about that. But when you come from admiring, you know, a city and growing in a city and then it gets taken away, like your vision of the city changes. Like it's you embrace it more and you do put it up in a pedestal where you're like, man, like, will I ever be as good as that? And then again, too, like, I mean, let's be realistic. We all probably have the same DJs we look up to, you know, the Echoes, the Vice, you know, these mega superstars that came from here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so to you, like, you know, like, you just don't think about that stuff until you're put in that situation. Then you're like, man, like, I'm not good enough to be there. But then, you know, God knows how to talk to you. Yeah. And he'll tell you and you hear that voice and you'll be like, you know what? I don't know if I'm good, but I'm gonna take that chance. And those little things that I've done, it's crazy because I thrive off of that. I thrive off of being uncomfortable. When I'm uncomfortable, I'm like, okay, that means something's gonna happen. Yeah. Like literally, like if I'll be sweating and I'm like, all right, I don't feel good. I'm gonna throw up. Mom, spaghetti. Yo, we ready? Like, and then I just jump to it. You know what I mean? Because it's like I understand that. Uncomfortable. If you being uncomfortable, it's just something big's behind that door. Because that's what the devil does. He'll tell you everything you need to know for you not to do it. Yeah. Because you'll be like, I never understood why movie stars and musicians and all that would always be like, oh, I thank God. I'd be like, man, that's corny. No, you like everyone thinks God. But then when you really start getting into things that are happening in your life and really happening, then you realize how God works because you see it. You'll see these things. Like he'll throw you an alley-oop, and it's like you do what you gotta do with it.
And I think that's beautiful that you're speaking up on it, because I think a lot of people, like you say, they cope with it differently, and not just that. A lot of people, like they have a story to say, but they're afraid to say it. Yeah. Because, like you say, it's about fear. And one thing I know about that word is either you forget everything and run, or you face everything and rise. Yeah. And when somebody told me that shit, I was like, damn, that's pretty much true.
It's true, man.
Because that word feared is what could hold you back from either doing something that's going to get you somewhere or is going to put you in a situation where you're going to be like, I could have done that. I should have done that.
And I lived that. I always tell my girl this, like, I feel like I lived like 4 different lives because I was a good kid and then I got lost. And then when I got lost, I was that guy, that hater. That I could do that shit. Oh, I could do that shit. Well, why don't you do it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, that's whack. Why they do this? Why they do that? And then once I got back and good and started doing stuff, I was like, yo, man, like, I just got to do it. You know what I mean? And it's just, I have like 4 different personalities, but in a sense it's because it's like 4 different lives in one life. Like, and it's just hard to explain, but it's just like when you live it, you kind of like, you just understand. Like, so that's why even too, like when there's, you know how it is, like there's hater DJs and stuff. Like I always pray for those people too, because I'm like, they're mad at themselves or they're mad at whatever they're mad at or whatever pain they're going through. So that's what's going on. You know what I mean? And it's in any business, you know what I mean? You go to, you know, like my girl's a nurse right now. There's nurses that don't like her because she loves to be a nurse. Because she struggles. Like she has lupus. She's been sick her whole life. So she has compassion for those people. So it's the same thing with me. Like I have so much compassion even for the people that are lost because I'm like, that guy's lost. Like I'm just going to reach out. And I do that a lot. Like especially nowadays with networking and meeting so many people. Like if I see someone post something or even if I run into them, like, yo, man, how you been? Like, man, good, dog. Like, you good, man? I saw your post the other day. Just let you know I'm praying for you. And sometimes people will be like, praying for me. But I know that feeling because I used to have people do that.
Yeah.
I used to have people do that. I'd be like, man, this fool's corny. Fucking pray for me. Like,
Yeah.
that's lame. But then on my way home, I'd be like, man.
Like, I actually
Like,
appreciated
really
that.
praying for me,
I actually
you know what I'm
appreciated
you know what I mean?
that
Like,
shit.
you're
Yeah.
like,
It comes a
dude.
long way.
Mhm.
And then what we do when we're lost is we try to belittle the people that really care about you.
Yeah.
And you don't understand that those people have compassion for you because of their struggles. Like, you just look at it like, that's corny because my boy says it's corny.
Mm.
You know what I mean? But it's not corny. It's just like, yo, like, when you start putting yourself in people's shoes, you'll stop being angry. You'll stop hating people.
Yeah.
You'll understand where they come from. I'm not saying to kiss everyone's ass, but I'm also saying, like, if there's someone that's really just doing a lot of dirt for no reason, it's not for no reason. It's because they're not happy with themselves. You know what I mean? And you're not gonna stop what God wants. Like, at the end of the day, if God has that path for you,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. Like, and I'm living proof of that for just the little things that I've accomplished. And I don't think I've accomplished much, but my girl did tell me this one day where I was just kind of frustrated and tired and was like, I don't know if my dream's ever going to come true. I was like, I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to be on radio in LA. I don't know, if I'm going to be able to DJ at these clubs. I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? I just feel like maybe I don't fit in with everybody. Like, I'm the new guy and everyone, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to say that I feel bad because I don't party like that, but I feel a little awkward, you know what I mean? And she was like, well, you went through what you went through because that's your testimony. Like, that's your testimony.
That shit goes hard.
Like, that's going to help everybody. And I was like, yeah, you're right. And she's like, don't stop being who you are because you want to, fit in. Like, I was like, I'm not, because I've made, like, I'm going to be who I am for life. You know what I mean? And she's like, exactly. So that's your testimony. Your testimony is everything you went through. You had to go through that. And then once we start talking, then it's like kind of like you energize yourself. Like, you know what? You're right.
You're like, you know what?
You're right, baby.
I fucking love you, man.
I love you, Jesus Christ. You're like, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? And then I just get hyped and I'm just like, yo, man, like, you're right. Like, you know what I mean? And then you start, because sometimes too, we blind ourselves to understand because our goals are so big. You forget the little accomplishments. You know what I mean? Sometimes our goals are like, oh, I want to be in Vegas DJ and I want to be, I want to be the next Felly Fell. Like, you know what I mean? But then you forget that there's 100 steps that took you to just get to that point. You know what I mean? And sometimes with me, I work so hard and I feel like I'm so old. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like my time's running up that I sometimes forget, like, yo, guys, if this wasn't supposed to happen, you wouldn't be hanging out with Beatdrop right now. You know what I mean? Like, if this wasn't supposed to happen, then you wouldn't be in this situation.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and regardless of what people say or think, whatever they think is corny, it doesn't matter because there's a path for you. There's God has a path for you. And if this wasn't the path, you wouldn't be this far already. And that's the thing where I have to continue to tell myself where it's like, you're right. Like, I went from being this guy to getting a second chance to now, man, like, I love my family so much. Like, all I do, everything I'm doing, yes, is for me, but I've also learned that this wasn't my dream. It was God's dream. Like, God made this dream happen towards me because he knew, hey, you're going to struggle a lot, boy, but you're also going to help so many people. Like, and even though you think you're not, and even though some people are like, man, that's corny. No, like, you're just by you being honest, you're going to help a lot of people. You know what I mean? And even my girl today was like, are you going to be, like, honest about, like, DUIs and all that? I was like, yeah, if it comes up. Yeah. I'm like, I don't have nothing to hide. Like, I was a drunk. I was lost. I'm like, there's probably someone out there that's lost, too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why, like, low-key, in the beginning, we were talking about it. And me and Beatdrop were just like, yo, we want people to come here and just tell the story. Yeah. Because, I know you've seen that. I don't know if you guys seen that meme, obviously. It's where there's a clear path and it's easy and shit. And there's another path and it's like fucking cricket lines everywhere and shit. And honestly, that's what people mainly in Instagram and social, they'll be like, oh, yeah, look, I'm here and here. Yeah. But low-key, behind the scenes, like, everybody knows. Like, yo, you have to go through some shit.
And your story, bro, is like, shit, I didn't know none of that. Like I said, like, we always talk like, yo, how's everything? Cool, for sure. And, you talking about that, bro, I'm so glad you spoke about it because it's like there's so many people out there that
be even scared to touch the topic.
Or they're going through shit. And then, like, I feel like you're like, man, like, I just wish somebody could talk about what I'm going through. Yeah. And then once you hear that shit, you're like, oh, fuck yeah, like, it's cool. Like a relief. Yeah, like, you're like, okay, I'm not alone. You know what I'm saying?
Like, that's helped me out a lot.
Yeah.
Is to know that I'm not alone. Like when I listen to your guys' podcast, and of course, you know, I'm a DJ, so I'm listening to the DJs, and they tell their story, man, and I'm just like, yo, okay, I'm on the right path. Like, and that helps me because it just brings this comfort, like where it's just like, okay, I'm not alone. Like these guys understand what the grind is. These guys, there's a reason why these guys are there, because they understand it, and then you just can't give up. You know what I mean? And sometimes, like, to me, sometimes I feel like this new world, people make it seem like it's not cool to like some, or it's not cool to be just like the other person or be different. So like if you guys are all about partying, drinking and stuff, and I'm that guy, it's like you're not cool, or it's corny, or it's like, you know what I mean? But I guess that's how life's always been. You know what I mean? You're always the outcast someplace. But there's a meme I actually saw the other day where it's just pictures, and it's like the things you do, and it's like you're in yellow and you're smiling, and everyone's the same color, and it's like when you tell your truths, this is the effect. And then the next picture is your more people are in yellow, and then the third one, everyone's in yellow. Like kind of pretty much saying like just stick to yourself and tell your truths, and you're gonna help the rest of everyone understand and tell their truths, and also be honest with themselves. And you know what I mean? And it makes a better environment. You know what I mean? Like when you fuck with people that are on the same mindset, like dude, there's so much stuff you can do in the world. Like there's just, I think that's how the world should work. Like everyone should have compassion for everybody, because no one's perfect. Like no one's perfect, dude. Like no one's perfect. I don't care what anyone says. Someone got some dirt, you know what I mean? And I'm not talking about dirt between your toes, you know what I mean?
I went to the beach.
I just got my toes done today. That's why I'm like,
I got a petty, you feel me?
I was getting petty, man. But you know, it's like everyone has dirt, everyone has demons, everyone goes through stuff. And even too, you guys doing those podcasts, like those stories of people going through pain and losing family members, that hit me so home, because I was like, yo, like I know that I'm not the only one. And as of course, as you get older, you start realizing that, like, yo, man, like we're not alone. Like everyone cries, everyone loses parents, everyone loses grandparents, everyone somehow, you know what I mean? Like this stuff's real. People have sick parents at home, people, you know what I mean?
That's true. Shout out to Nessa, because I think that was one of our first persons that actually kind of opened up, you know? And then that's when people started hearing, they're like, yo, you know what, this girl's crazy. Like she's out here telling her story, and it helped like fucking a lot of people,
dude,
you know,
and it helps, man,
themselves.
Because it's just, you know, death is part of life. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you this, from my experience, death changes people's lives. And it's not always for the best. I'm really proud, and I love my mom to death, because she never lost her faith. And I'm talking about, like, when my grandma took herself out, it wasn't pretty. It was very traumatic, very crazy. And then, of course, then she loses her dad, like, you know, not even a year and a half later. Like, there was a point where my parents are Mexican, you know what I mean? And my grandpa was machismo, like straight, like I'm a G, you know what I mean? So after my grandma passed, I only visited him one time because I couldn't bear to see him cry. Like it was heartbreaking for me to see him cry. And then of course, you know, then I veered off, you know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying, man. Like that stuff changes people's lives and mindsets. And sometimes I always say this, I'm not here to preach religion and everything. I'm preaching what I personally believe in. I love God. I know God's real. I know everything that I've been through in life is because of God.
That's right.
And I also got sober because of God. Because my mom, till this day, she'll tell you, for months, and this is when I was my sickest. Like I was like, I'm dying. I don't know what's going on. And she was like, I would pray every day. And I would pray every day to God. And I would tell him, bring him back. I know something's not right with my son. I know my son, you know, he might be an alcoholic, but make him stop. Make him stop. And that's what she was doing. God was making me sick for I could finally just like, yo, your mom is telling you. And I believe in prayer, and I believe if you have that much faith that God will grant you that. And that's what happened. You know what I mean? And I was just like, that's how it happened.
Damn, man. Nah, well, hey, bro, congratulations, man. Like,
Thanks,
on that,
man.
because it's like, for you to be sober and for you to be on that, man, that's amazing, bro. Like, for real, because it's like, it's a story, man, that I know it's hard for you to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot going on, and it's like, the way you just spoke about it, man, I'm just like thinking about it, and it makes me feel good to see you that you're in a good place, man. That's the most important. And shout out to your girl too, man, for you guys for having a strong unit. You know what I'm saying? Because that's important. You know what I mean? Like everything kind of got in a place where you got good with God. You got your wifey. Like that's a good place to be in, man. You know what I'm saying? And bro, you working hard, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I see you working hard, man, and it's good to see you be in a good space. And it's crazy because I know that with the first time I met you was when you was at DB, and you were super cool, man. Like, and that's a good personality that you have. We were both there, and like super cool. Like, oh, this is you boys. All right, cool for sure. And it was like, dog, you like genuinely a good dude. Like, and I'm just saying that, like, and that's a great quality to have, man. So like, now that I know your story even more, like, I'm happy for you, man. And thanks, congrats on that, for real, man. Like, you're in a good place, bro.
And when we met, how long ago was that?
It was almost a year ago.
Yeah, almost a year.
Man, look at us. A year later.
That's what, man, it's crazy. And then when Facebook reminds you of all this stuff, I always screenshot some of the stuff just to be like, man, I've come a long way. And again, it's just, to me, I'm just like, yo, man, I know everything's going to happen when God wants it to happen. Right. And I just like, yo, man, I never stopped talking about God because I know how he changed my life. And, I hope that whatever comes from this, whoever's listening or even you guys, sometimes people are shy to say, but the fact that it touches someone or somebody, then it pretty much makes sense what my girl said. This is your testimony, and you're gonna help people down there, and just keep doing what you're doing. You know what I mean?
I feel that, man.
You know, so
no, that's great, bro. And then right now that you feel like you're in a good space, things are kind of going good for you. Like, what do you feel is something that now you want to work on for the next step? Like, is it your branding? Is it like, what is it that you feel could help you move on to the next step for yourself?
Just keep working my butt off. You know what I mean? Like literally, like the things that have happened to me the last couple months have been great. You know what I mean? Little things here and there that to me mean a lot. You know what I mean? Being able to, like, even the other day I was on Pitbull's Sirius XM. Like, dude, that's crazy, I like cried. Like, I'm not even lying. Like, like I remember, like, as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh my God, it's happening again. Like, you know what I mean? And I go, thank you, God. You don't even know, like, you know what I mean? Like, but again, like stuff like that, you know what I mean? And then, just the stuff that's been happening, behind the scenes, literally, like, that shows that, like, you just got to keep working. And even like, there's people out there that probably want to give up. And it's like, yo, man, every story that I've heard here on your podcast, that's the biggest thing. Don't give up.
Yeah, man.
Don't give up. As much as you want, as much as the devil is like, yo,
throwing shit at you,
you're not good enough. You're too fat. Like, yo, quit eating. Like, you know what I mean? Like, all that stuff, you know what I mean? Like you just got to work through it. You got to work through it. You know what I mean? And there's still, like, I always, whenever good things are going to happen, my life gets really crazy. Like, and I'm not saying like in a good way. I mean, like, all this dumb stuff starts happening, cars break down, like stupid situations here, stupid situations there, and I just pray. And I just like, okay, something big's coming, because that's the only time the devil tries to veer you off.
Get at you, man.
You know what I mean? He's trying to knock you off that, because he knows that the next blessing is only gonna prepare you to, or propel you to talk more about God. You know what I mean? And I've learned that since I stopped, since I got good with God. I know that for a fact. Like, I don't even stress no more. Like it's weird to explain it. It's just, I have so much faith now. I just, like, I know what's going to happen next. And whatever you want me to do, God, I'm just following along. I'm just, you know what I mean? But just that's pretty much all I can do right now, is just work. You know what I mean?
Nah, bro.
Keep making mixes. Keep, doing the brand. Keep, you know what I mean? Just, trying to impact people, whether it's with mixes, whether it's with this, whether it's, with the merch. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just always constantly like, yo, more content, more content. Right. You know what I mean? And right now, my biggest thing is mixes. You know what I mean? I just love DJing. So I love putting out mixes. And sometimes, like, you think no one's listening, and then I'll get like this text from like someone big, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's crazy,
like,
man.
Yo, bro, I hear you.
Well, that's the thing, bro. That's the thing. I feel like sometimes, like, it's that thing. It's fear. Like, you overthink shit, and then you put it out, and then you get good response, and you're like, damn, like, I could have been doing this. You know what I mean?
Because even, too, like, I think all of us as DJs have this fear because of the amazing DJs we grew up listening to, that we have to be perfect. Like, I've dealt with that my whole life. And the minute I got into radio, that's one thing where I was like, I'm going to break that mentality. Like, I don't care if I'm off beat. I don't care if I mess up on a juggle. I don't care. I'm going to post these mixes. And it just, with practice you get better. You know what I mean?
Man.
So it's not just to be like, oh, I want to put content. It's like, yo, if I keep doing these, when you're at the club, when you're doing these live events, you realize that all those mixes made sense. Like you're like, oh, dude, like, oh man, I remember when I had to do like 4 takes of that, and I just did it in 1 take. You know what I mean? And that's one thing where even what was it, Demo? I heard the interview where he was like, dude, I'm such a perfectionist. I was like, me too.
Yeah, me
like
too.
I was in my car, me too. Yo, dogs, Demo, man, yo, bro.
I feel you, dog.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes as DJs, we think that we have to be perfect.
Yeah, man.
And it's just like we don't. Like, and even the our perfect is different from the other listener. Like, and that's one thing too. Like working in radio, that's helped me understand from everybody else. Is like, bro, the regular ear doesn't hear that. Yeah. You're worried about, Tommy who's in his room, who's literally like, he was off beat. He was off beat. I heard him. He was off beat by this much. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because that's who we are. You know, when we grew up, it was like, man, that fool got off beat. He got off beat. Or like, oh, dude, he missed his cue. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, dude, like, you hear him his cut? Like,
and it's crazy because then if you're listening to it with your friends are like, what the fuck are you talking about? And you're like, and then you look like the asshole.
Fine with me.
Yeah. They're like, I'm having a good time. And then you look like that fucking asshole.
Yo, dog, you hear Oso fucked up right there? Bro, this shit is lit.
Yeah, you're like, man, also they're so mighty right now. What you mean?
Bro, that fool, man, he got off beat like 4 times, dog. Bro, you hater.
Oh, shit.
Whatever, motherfucker. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
you wouldn't understand.
You don't understand, dog. I need to get with another DJ. But that's how it is. Like, we think we have to be perfect, and it's like, man, yo, we don't have to be perfect. Like, you just gotta put it out, man. Like, that's what I keep telling people. And shout out to my boy DJ Soul. Like, I've learned a lot from that guy. Like, he's a marketing machine, and he's from San Luis Obispo and stuff. And man, a lot of stuff I learned from him too. And one of those things was too the mixes, because he's always like, and he's like, bro, like, you gotta understand, like, you just gotta put it out. It doesn't matter. Like, the average ear is not gonna listen to that. And then the truth is, there could be a dope DJ, but it don't matter if he's dope if he's not putting in the work.
Yeah.
And I think Demo said that too. Gary V was all like, "Yo, you guys just gotta push it out, push it out. No,
man.
If nobody's hearing, just push it out."
I love that guy, dude, because that everything he says is how I talk to myself.
Yeah,
like,
you got
and then a lot of times the stuff that I post on Instagram is me talking to myself. Like, and it's like the DJ Khaled effect. I heard DJ Khaled one day say, like, it doesn't matter, just keep putting out content. It doesn't matter, just flood it. And I remember hearing that day, and I was like, yeah, that's right. Another one. Like, another one. All right, cool. I'm gonna post out 5 mixes right now. I only got 2 listens on each one, but I got 5.
It adds up.
You know what I mean? But again, like, that's just kind of how you got to do it. You know what I mean? And then again, too, you become better. You know what I mean?
No, I feel
and then you get more comfortable at, like, screw it. Like, you know what I mean? Just get comfortable at keeping with the flow, because when you're a beginning DJ, everything moves so fast. Like, you're just like on that, like, I gotta do this, gotta do that. And then once you have practice, like, those moments don't mess you up. Like, you just kind of flow with it. Like, all right, cool, I was a little offbeat there. Oh, cool. Like,
you just kind of flow.
Like, oh, damn, I didn't mean to put that song on, or like, just stuff like that. Like, and I think a lot of DJs don't understand the value of doing mixes, because that's what helps you. It's like you're live. You don't have to be live at the club. Even if you're live in your bedroom, when you're live at the club, you're able to. It's like what I call the Iron Man effect too, where you have that moment where you're in that zone, and then it's like all the songs come up in your head, and you start doing this.
It's just like pockets. Like, there's pockets you get where you feel like you're locked in. And it's like, it's that rush where it's just like.
But then everything makes sense. Like, like you hear it. The way I visualize it is like being like Iron Man when he's like putting stuff together. And that's how I look at it. Like, when I get that zone moment, I'm like, oh, cool. I'll do this on. No, that song's not good. Boom, put this, and that. Cool, let's go. Boom. And then it's like 5 minutes later, like, damn, I killed all my songs. Now what do I play?
You're like, damn, it's only 12:15.
Right. Like, I went in hard though.
Like, hey, that shit was lit though.
Then at 1:30, I'm playing Peaches and Cream. It's like, bro, what the hell happened, dog?
Hey, you were lit like an hour ago, dog.
Bro, I killed all my music.
I'm
bro.
sorry, guys.
Sorry, man. I was gonna go EDM, but it says no EDM. Right there. Like, what happened to EDM?
Hey, my bad. And where can people find your mixes, dog?
Mixcloud. So it's mixcloud.com/DJ Oso Mighty. Pretty much everything DJ Oso Mighty.
There it is.
If you go on my Instagram, you go on Twitter, the links are there. Even my Facebook, the links are there. I just pushed that link. You know what I mean? So you can find all my mixes there. And then, and then if you want some merch right now, just hit me up on Instagram.
Yeah,
I'll send
man.
you some stuff. You know what I mean? I have everything, so
Yeah.
I just try to, brand.
No, shit, no, for real, man.
Yeah,
He
man.
came in, gave you some
Bought
merch.
bags,
Yeah.
some merch.
We ain't-
A lot of stuff in here.
Yeah, we're not gonna give you guys that. This is ours. Right? This is our shit. This is our shit. This is
I
exclusive
know, man.
shit.
I was trying to get the T-shirts and the hats in today. I was kind of mad. I was like, oh, dude, like man, because I've been just waiting on those. But I'll send you guys some.
It's all good. We appreciate you,
Man, I
dog.
appreciate you guys.
Nah,
man.
hell yeah.
Again, this is dope. That was beyond.
Nah.
Again, I'm like, oh man, this is dope.
No, hell yeah. And then I know Roger.
Oh, we ain't done,
We-
baby.
Oh,
right,
we
right
did.
before we get out of here. Right before we get out of here, Roger's
He's like, I heard
going.
you're a 49er fan.
Yeah,
Fuck you.
yeah, he's all mad as shit. Nah, but right before we get out of here, man, Roger got this little game he been playing.
Would you
know what
rather with Roy? You ready?
You know what
I'm ready, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm ready.
He's like, wait, fuck, I don't know if I'm rather.
Hold on.
All right. Would you rather live in a world without any crime, or live in a world without any poverty?
Oh wow.
He hit you deep with that one.
Yeah, that one's deep, man. Oh, because I would wish everyone would just be equal.
That's right.
You know what I mean? But if there's still crime, that means there's still crazy people out there.
Mm.
Damn, dude, that was good.
Yeah, he's like, fuck, man.
right?
He's
He's like,
what
man,
the
give me
fuck?
an easy one. Like,
Yeah.
do you like
apples or
Fritos
bananas
or flaming hot? I'll probably go with the poverty one.
Poverty one?
Yeah,
That's a good
everyone equal, we good. I mean, we all eating the same.
I feel
one.
it.
All right. Next question. Would you rather give a homeless person a job, or give a homeless person a place to live for free for the rest of their life?
A job.
A job.
I'm that guy. Like, I'm like, yo, bro, if you can stand on the corner with the sun in your face, I know we struggling, but come on, dogs. If you work, you'll learn that ethic, or you'll have that mentality to keep grinding.
Would you rather have Snapchat or Instagram if you had to pick one?
Oh, Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah,
It's about the
man.
gram. Yeah, it's about the gram. You know what I'm
Snap's
saying?
kind of weird, dude.
Yeah.
And I got a girl, so it's like.
Oh yeah,
Snap's
yeah.
not
yeah.
even fun.
No, yeah.
Next
You
question.
gotta be careful with
Sorry,
that. alert.
baby. She's probably like, what do you
She's
mean
like,
by
wait.
that?
She's like, wait. You told me you disactivated your fucking snap. Like, you still have a snap? You told me you deleted that shit. You're like, babe, it's for marketing. It's for
Nah.
DJing shit.
You know,
yeah.
Beatdrop.
Yeah. Blame it on me. Blame it on. I got you, dog.
Would you rather know every answer to every test you will take, or get free food at any restaurant you go to?
Oh man, you know it's food, man.
Yeah. He said food.
As soon as you said food,
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
My boy
man.
was like,
Oh,
Man, I'm almost done with the diabetes stuff, man. Let's go.
All right, next question. Would you rather be ugly and rich, or be handsome and poor?
Man, I'm already ugly.
pay me, motherfucker.
Pay me,
You
yo.
know, I feel it,
Man,
dog.
money buys you beauty. You see
Yeah.
Kendall, dog?
You say, you know how much I pay for this TV?
Right? It does, bud.
All right, last question. Would you rather have a magic wallet that always has 20s in it, or have a magic dust that can make your friends happy when they're sad?
Yeah. I'll probably do the dust because
The dust?
I'm that guy now. I'm like, yo, my friends are happy. We all happy. You know what I mean?
Fuck that shit. I want my 20s.
I want a 20 comprendo.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You mad today? Hey,
You
come back
mad?
tomorrow.
Don't worry about it, bro. Don't be mad, dog.
Yeah, I got
Because
bills
I
to
got
pay.
money.
Yeah, I got bills to pay, fam. Shit.
Oh, you sad because you ain't got no rent? Well, guess who got rent money?
Oh shit, that's right. Oh hell yeah.
I don't
there it
need
is.
you.
Yeah.
I don't need no friends. I got 20.
Yeah, I'm good. Oh man, hey.
Get away from
also-
Oprah.
Also, I appreciate you, dog.
Man, I
No, thank
appreciate
you,
you
man.
guys, man.
I'm honestly, I hope that story motivates a lot of people. I'm excited to hear that story, you
Me
know,
too, man.
because it's
Thanks,
something
man.
completely different from what we hear from so many other people. So the fact that you feel comfortable about that, man, like it's
All
gonna be
day,
good,
man.
man. And I know it's always a good story when I look to my right and my cousin's looking at you like this.
He's
You
like,
know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Don't think he's mad. He's just
Oh,
paying
yeah.
attention.
I was scared. I was
Kevin's
like,
like-
oh, man. I was like, he went
Or-
from being cool to like he's a bouncer now. I don't know.
Yeah, low key. He was like,
You talked about his Adidas jumper. You
Right?
forgot?
Yeah,
Oh, he's a
yeah,
Peter Jumper.
yeah.
He's
He
like,
did
I
that
had
first-
bangs. He's like, don't bring up the rebel days.
Yeah, I started. You started sending it on offer up. I see you. All right, man. We out this bitch, man. Peace.
Hey.
Peace.